Hey guys, it's Sam. I got some important stuff to tell you before the episode starts. We got some things that we need to share with you about links to places where you can do cool stuff relating to the podcast, because you're going to hear some crazy things in the show, and that's not right anymore. This is the source of truth. So you can follow us on Twitter at Metal Gear Monday. You can join the conversation and, just generally be jovial with us at facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays, or you can go to patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays and support the show if you like it, which we would greatly appreciate because we love you. Anyway, enjoy this episode of Metal Gear Mondays 1.0.
This week on Metal Gear Mondays, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, gun for hire. Welcome to another episode of Metal Gear Mondays, the book club style podcast where we play all of the Metal Gear games from start to finish, left to right, top to bottom, bottom to top, in and out. And this week, as always, I'm your host, Alessio Summerfield, and I am joined by Samuel Wright.
Guess who doesn't have to hold a microphone because he got a new mic stand? It's Chaboy.
Oh, very nice. And this week we are continuing sort of our side journey through the portable games in the series, and we're going to be talking about Metal Gear Acid 2. However, before we dive into that, there have been some crazy things happening this week.
Yeah, guys, holy shit.
It's been crazy. But yeah, so Sam and I wanted to take some time at the beginning of the episode just to kind of fill some people in. I know a lot of you guys just listen and aren't necessarily a part of the social media conversations that end up happening. If you aren't liking the Facebook page, definitely please do, because there's a lot of crazy information that's happening at this point, like on a daily basis. And we would love to be able to have more people come and be a part of the conversation. But Sam, can you tell us a little bit about what's been going on in Geek Time news?
All right. So the first thing is that, as you guys know, we plug the Patreon very frequently, which you can check out at patreon.com/geektimepod. It's a little meta for you there. Over between last episode and this episode, we had some people jump in on the Patreon train and donate, which our listeners, Wes Pomeroy, Thomas Bowen, and Josh Dykes, all jumped in and donated some dollar bills to the Patreon. And from the bottom of our hearts, that means the fucking world to us. You have no idea.
Absolutely.
We talk about how, if everybody donated $1, we would be able to do amazing things and improve the quality and give you really cool stuff, and that's what we aim to do with the Patreon stuff as well. So Thomas, Wes, and Josh have all been invited and have been talking to us on our personal Slack channel, so they have direct access to conversations with us there. So $1 gets you in on that. Plus, we're going to be putting up exclusive blog posts and stuff on the Patreon page, just for people who donate. So definitely check that out if you so could. Is that a phrase?
I think so. Choose.
If you so choose,
yeah.
Check that out and donate some money.
Well, and that being said, too, Sam and I have been having conversations about how to make the Patreon a little bit more engaging and a ton of fun. And part of being a part of the Patreon backing pool is we're going to start publishing the show notes, like physical, hard-written show notes for Metal Gear Mondays. And on top of that, we are actually toying around with the idea of opening up a couple of different choices for Patreon backers, where they can vote on things that we're going to be doing in the future, and that is exclusive to patrons. And it's just going to kind of enable us to do some really, really cool things. And I think the more people we get in the Slack channel, the better that whole thing is going to be. And it's already a ton of fun, and we've been sharing some really cool stuff with everybody who's already donated. But I think getting more people into the Slack is going to make it a ton of fun.
Absolutely. Your dollar bill snowballs quite drastically.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely transparent, I think we're already a third of the way to paying for all of the hosting and all of the SoundCloud stuff. Mm-hmm. So even if just like 6 more people contributed the same way that our original 3 have contributed, we wouldn't have to pay any money out of pocket to do what we're doing, and that would make our lives tremendously better.
It would, and it would free up funds for us to be able to use it for other things that we could potentially use to make the site better too.
Exactly. On top of the fact that we would love to be able to physically meet one another and do special episodes and stuff like that. So,
which we have done, but like it's taxing on the wallet, you know.
Yeah. And it took like years to do the first one. So
yeah, no, Alessio, me and Alessio are very good friends, and I've known Alessio for about 5, almost 6 years now. And I met him in person for the first time last July. So it's you know, it's some money. It costs some money.
Yeah.
To go cross country a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's super unfortunate, but you have to have money to do fun things, and so we want to definitely thank you guys tremendously. I mean, it made my day just to get Wes's contribution and then immediately to get the other 2. It was mind-blowing. And, I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk about it for too terribly much longer, but I will say that just being able to interact and share videos and all kinds of stuff with people in the Slack channel, like my day-to-day, I was just like ear to ear smiling. Yeah. So
I was just like, and especially because that day it was gorgeous outside and I was doing a lot of like work on my porch, and it just made the day so much better. So thank you guys so much for all of that.
Totally. And
go ahead. Well, on another front, I was going to talk about the other thing that Geek Time is doing. So I posted a video the other day to the Facebook page. We have T-shirts now. A lot of people were talking to us and like mentioning offhandedly, is like, yeah, you know, I want Matt Campbell on a T-shirt, you know. And we oblige. So we have a shop. You can go to geektime.spreadshirt.com or shop.spreadshirt.com/geektime will also get you there. We have a couple designs in there, and we're going to try and make it more designs. The one that I posted the video directly about was a Matt Campbell 2016 t-shirt. So if you're not a big fan of any of the candidates running for president right now, you can wear Matt Campbell and show your support for him, the hero we all deserve. We've also got It's Just a Box t-shirt.
I love that design. I think that's going to be the one that I end up buying.
Yeah, I'm going to get me one of those here pretty soon too, because I'm actually, like, the more I look at it, like, I hated it at first because I'm very hypercritical of myself, but I like it. I'm starting to grow on me. But yeah, so I made all of these, by the way. And then we also have a shirt that says "Keep it sexy, y'all," which is how we sign off the Geek Time podcast that we do. And then we have our logo T-shirts, and then this one of those athletic department shirts, but it's kind of like flipping those stupid shirts on their head a little bit. So
yeah, no, it's super sweet. And likewise too, our goal is to kind of keep adding to the shirt pool. So hopefully we'll have fun shirts with more inside jokes. And the day that I encounter somebody with a "It's Just a Box" shirt in the wild, I'm gonna freak the fuck out and probably have to like pull over and like weep, I think.
Yeah. The way that the store is laid out, if you go there, it'll show you the designs, and if you click on the designs, it'll take you into the store that shows you what you can buy with that design on it. All of the shirts have men's cuts and women's cuts, so you can buy either one of those. That's all we have right now, but the shirt has capacity to do like coffee mugs, underwear, all kinds of crazy stuff. So if there's a demand for it, we'll easily be able to add it into the store.
Sweet. And that being said, too, I wanted to ask you, Sam, is there any way for us to integrate a shop link into the website?
Oh yeah, totally. And I was going to do that, and then I got distracted by stuff.
Perfect.
But I will certainly on the website geekti.me. I will add a link to the shop with our probably next to the donate page.
Sweet
link to the donate.
And that being said, some crazy stuff has been kind of happening with a little bit of cross promotional material, and I wanted to just talk about it for a second, and then we could dive in proper. And I guess it kind of came up in the Slack channel that some folks did not realize that I do filmmaking. So for any of you guys who, I feel like I talk about it all the time, but if you guys don't already know, I am a professional filmmaker. This is what I've chosen to do with my life, even though it is not necessarily the most financially beneficial thing to try to do. And so I have been here in St. Louis. I have a company with my production partner, James Reichmuth, and we do video production. And so we have a lot of client work, but we also have a lot of passion projects and original content. And one of those things was we were developing a web series called Dev Diary that was going to be a weekly web series for YouTube. And we did a bunch of pilot episodes with a couple different developers in St. Louis. And eventually we ended up encountering these three brothers called the Coster Brothers that work under the handle Butterscotch Shenanigans. They do a lot of mobile games. So if you've ever played Flop Rocket or Quadrupus Rampage on iOS or Google Play, they made those games, but they ended up kind of becoming the first season of Dev Diary. And while we were working on it, we, about 3 weeks ago, came to the realization that we wanted to do a feature film instead. And so we announced on Monday that we are doing a feature film. There's an announcement trailer. You can check it out on Facebook. The name of the film is Brace for Impact, the Crashlands story, because they've been working on... they released a game in late January called Crashlands for... PC, Mac, iOS, and Android, and it is actually the first game that I've ever played to date where it is a full game, an amazing adventure game with crafting elements and like a 60-hour story, but you can play it on your phone for $4.99, and then you can literally turn around and pay $14.99 on Steam and pick up right where your mobile game left off. And it's the first time I've ever seen a game be fully featured and have it to where you could do something like that. Usually the mobile version is like a way shittier version, but they're identical. And so we've been covering their story because one of the three brothers, Sam, got diagnosed with stage 4B lymphoma and was having a really hard time with cancer, and Crashlands came out of that. And so we put up the announcement trailer, and we announced the film and the website, and we're going to be doing a huge event on March 25th that Sam will be coming to. The website for the movie is braceforimpactmovie.com. You can check out the trailer. There's a blog, and you can see what I look like. And I was recently featured on a podcast that a good friend of mine is a co-host on called the Match 3 podcast, and is based out of Chicago. And I talked about the film on the latest episode. I believe it is episode 41. About 15 minutes in, you can hear me and Sam talking about the movie for about 15 minutes. Sam and I went to high school and middle school together, and so we hadn't talked to each other in about 5 years. So it was actually really, really cool getting a chance to talk about the film and catch up with Sam. Sam Wright is a big fan of one of the guys who hosts the show. Sam, can you tell us about that guy?
Yeah, no. So Patrick Klepek, I've been following Patrick for a while. I first stumbled across him several years ago, back when One Up was doing the One Up show, when One Up was still a perfect paradise of amazingness. And I remember the first thing I ever saw him on was a One Up Show episode where they were talking about the Operation Anchorage DLC for Fallout 3, if that dates it a little bit. So Pat, that's where I saw Patrick for the first time, and he's kind of jumped around stuff, but he's a reporter for Kotaku right now, senior reporter. And when Alessio, I didn't realize he was doing this podcast. When Alessio told me he was doing the show, I was like, yeah, Patrick.
That's awesome. But
between Patrick Klepek and Phil Kohler, it's like those are my two games journalists, like, man crushes.
That's awesome. But yeah, so I went on and talked about the film, and so you can definitely check that out. And I think that's really all of the admin stuff. The reason why I mentioned the film is because I also talked about Geek Time very minimally on the podcast, but as the film, it's kind of this cool marriage where it's like this production side of things that I do. Since the film is about video games, it actually kind of allows me to talk about Geek Time in the same breath. And so we might have some new listeners, hopefully. And then likewise, too, I know that once Dev Diary returns as a web series after the film is finished, we are still planning on doing a podcast companion to the web series. And that will be a part of the Geek Time Network. So, essentially we're going to find a way to make Forever an Astronaut and Geek Time be brother and sister.
Yay.
So, it'll be fun.
Geek Time's not the sister.
That's fine. But yeah, so fuck it. Let's pull up our pants and talk about some Metal Gear Acid 2.
And do the Rockaway?
Yes.
Sorry, it's late. I'm done.
You're fine. But yeah, so Metal Gear Acid 2, we are not going to talk too terribly much about the intricate details, but I will kind of go through some generalities real quick before we dive into it.
It's probably for the best because, like, this one is even more batshit than the first one.
Yeah, it very easily could have been called Metal Gear Acid 2, the one with all of the fucking really hard names to pronounce. Because every boss in this game has, like, a name that I cannot pronounce to save my life.
I'm gonna look up the names of the Metal Gears and see if I can try.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's only two, so the Metal Gear from Acid 1 makes a reappearance. So
yeah, Kodok, I think Kodok is how
But then the Metal Gear that shows up just for Acid 2 is insane.
Wait. Let me see if I can't. You go ahead and talk about the generalities. I'm gonna find this.
Cool. So, for those of you familiar with Metal Gear Acid 1, Metal Gear Acid 2 is a direct sequel and also a direct kind of mechanical sequel. So, like, all of the systems from Metal Gear Acid 1 come back kind of untouched. However, I will say they streamlined a lot of it, and everything animates quicker, everything feels faster. It looks, in my opinion, tons better because they went with, like, a cel-shaded look. And just everything about it, it's almost as if they took any complaints from the first Acid and addressed them directly. And so essentially this game just feels like the first game, but 10 times better. And for those of you that follow us on Facebook, I played the first hour of Metal Gear Acid a little while ago and took a picture of it and essentially shared it on Facebook and said, I'm only an hour in and it's already like one of my favorite PSP games. So mechanically, it's phenomenal. It is a ton of fun. Story-wise, it may not be everybody's cup of tea. I enjoyed it. It's probably the most anime that Metal Gear ever gets. So if you're not into anime or you're not into kind of that art style or kind of the melodrama that comes with it, you may not enjoy it. But I will say the story segments are still kind of visual novel-esque, kind of like from the first Acid. However, it feels almost more like a Phoenix Wright game and less like a dating sim this time around, I guess. So even the story portions feel like way more energetic and animated and stuff like that. And some of the characters are phenomenal. Like I actually kind of wish some of the characters would have been canon. That way they could have appeared in other games because the cast of characters is just a ton of fun.
No Matt Campbell, though.
No Matt Campbell, sadly enough. There is, just to kind of go through it, so Snake obviously makes a return, albeit with a twist, which we will get to. He is partnered up with kind of the female lead. Replacing Taliko is Venus, which is what I was referring to in my little jingle at the beginning of the show. She's pretty cool. And then on top of that, we've got a couple of different supporting characters that kind of make appearances in and out. The head bad guy, in a sense, is a guy named Wiseman, which whenever I saw it, I was like, Wiseman, the Wise Man's Committee? Like, what is this? And so it was pretty funny. And then there's a hacker who goes by BB, who is hilarious. Like, I will say the character's dialogue, it's some of the best dialogue I've seen in a Metal Gear game. Like, he just calls out some of the things from the series that everybody kind of takes for granted and makes jokes about it. And so, like, I don't know, BB's a phenomenal character. You never see BB, but you do see, like, a little avatar because he just communicates through texts. There is a guy named Dalton who is kind of a private eye, who's actually a pretty interesting character. He starts out kind of flat, but eventually kind of develops into a cool character. And then there's just a whole bunch of supporting kind of boss characters and stuff like that. Vince, the head of security, is a pretty fun character who's kind of recurring, but everybody else is just kind of, they show up once and then they're gone. But yeah, and so essentially the plot is it picks up directly after Metal Gear Acid 1. Snake is entering the United States illegally with 3 mercenaries from South America on a jet, and then they are taken hostage, and Dalton essentially tells Snake, you've got to go on this mission or I'm going to imprison you and your friends, but if you do this mission for me, then I will look the other way and we will clear you of any sort of charges. And Snake is kind of confused because Snake is actually an amnesiac in this game, so he doesn't remember anything. But apparently he's wanted for something that happened in South America, and he can't re-enter the country.
Yeah. So Snake infiltrates this place called Saint Logic. Did you say that already?
Oh, no, I haven't said that. Yeah, Saint Logic is this like weapons development kind of company that works with the government that has been doing experiments, and Dalton sends Snake in to get information on what they're doing as part of his investigation.
Yeah. But so he infiltrates Saint Logic and is kind of like sneaking around, and that's when Wiseman comes in, who is a Joint Chief of Staff for the DoD. Yep.
That's Department of Defense for anybody who's not familiar with American government kind of hierarchy. Yeah. I'm
just so used to say, like, my dad was in the military. I'm so used to saying just DOD and like things like that. But Wiseman is involved because of this guy named Copplethorne, who essentially is the guy with the nukes. So essentially, several prisoners are to be released into his custody. Otherwise, he's going to use nuclear weapons.
And the new Metal Gear.
Yes.
So he's kind of primed to be like the head bad guy, but you really don't interact with him a whole lot until the end. But he's kind of like a lead researcher at Saint Logic. Yeah.
And then Wiseman also sends in Venus, who is his operative, to team up with Snake for the mission. And then they shortly discover that they are developing a new Metal Gear, which is okay.
All right, take a deep breath.
Metal Gear Kayath HaKadesh.
Yeah, and those are 3 different words.
Yes, Kayath or Chayoth or what? But I think it's the ch in this instance because of the etymology of the name. I think it's Kayath. Kayath makes a k sound, so Kayath HaKadesh.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see, like, I didn't do any research to see if that name is from something else, but I would be interested to see if it was like a name from like mythology or something.
I looked it up, and the first thing that pops up is Metal Gear.
Oh, well, I guess they completely made it up. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's the new Metal Gear, and it's different than other Metal Gears because not only does it have nukes and all those other things, but what Saint Logic has been doing has been creating a new operating system that is called Ego, and I cannot remember what EGO stands for. But essentially what it is this operating system that will allow the Metal Gear to essentially have a personality, and essentially the operating system would allow it to think and react like a human being. So this is very much so like some Neon Genesis Evangelion territory.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, man, actually, because I'm actually surprised that they've never done anything like that in the main games with how crazy everything gets in MGS4. But yeah, so that's kind of how it articulates. And so Snake is tasked with obviously destroying Metal Gear, getting the data to allow for Dalton and Wiseman to kind of secure their investigation and then get the fuck out. And things kind of start to get crazy towards the 3/4 of the way through the game. Since this is a little bit of like a hybrid of like a micro and a regular episode, we're probably not going to touch on every single point that kind of articulates within the story. But Snake does encounter like other researchers and encounters a child named Lucy who does not speak and does not have a personality. And Snake is slowly trying to, essentially in exchange for doing all these things, they've promised Snake that they will tell him about his past. And so that is the motivating factor for him.
Yeah. And then after all this stuff, you kind of learn that Copplethorne has been trying to like resurrect his dead wife in the form of Lucy.
Yeah, the little girl.
And that Snake is a test subject and is actually a clone of the real Solid Snake.
Yeah, well, he's a clone of the Snake from Acid 1.
Yeah, which
is not the real Solid Snake.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But, and what's interesting too is Snake discovers that, so this Copplethorne guy thought Snake was dead, and then when he sees Snake, he decides that he's going to take his revenge. And so Snake doesn't understand why Copplethorne hates him, but it kind of becomes revealed that Snake is the one that killed Copplethorne's wife, and that Copplethorne's wife was the one conducting all of this research for Ego. And essentially what was going on was that the Snake from Metal Gear Acid 1 had been cloned a few times, and they essentially used them as kind of like the Mark III, like Stage 3 test subjects. And so the Snake that we play as is just one of the clones. But what ended up happening was Copplethorne's wife and all of these Solid Snake clones were in South America for testing. And essentially some panic had happened, and somebody involved and I believe it was actually Wiseman. By the end of the game, you find out Wiseman and Venus were tasked with inciting an event that would cause the clones to kind of go into action in order to test them. And all of the clones end up killing everybody, and there's a massacre, and Copplethorne's wife is involved, and then the Snake that we play as is the only survivor, and he actually wiped out everybody. And Venus essentially tries to kill him, and that's what makes him an amnesiac. Is that
an animaniac?
Yeah, she tries to kill him, and it doesn't kill him, and she leaves, and then he loses his memory. So as all of these things get revealed, Snake ends up confronting the Metal Gear and Copplethorne. Copplethorne and all of these other test subjects that are worshiping Lucy as if she's kind of this resurrected goddess. Or a queen, which is what they keep calling her. Copplethorne thinks that she's just going to be the personality and memories of his wife in a new body. But it turns out that as Snake is fighting the Metal Gear with Venus, Copplethorne kind of gets disabled, and Lucy takes control of the Metal Gear and actually states that it's been her plan all along to transcend kind of humanity and transcend all of these things, and she doesn't give a shit about Copplethorne. She just wants to kind of be this queen for like a new generation of humans. And Snake and Venus end up taking her out in the Metal Gear as well. And then Snake and Venus get into a fight because essentially Wise Man orders Venus to finish the job.
Yeah, because she's a test subject too, but like a newer test subject.
For sure. And essentially BB comes to the rescue, kick-ass hacker who's been helping you this whole time.
Coming in, rolling on his ball.
Yeah, dude. Dalton.
BB-8.
No, this is BB1. So, but Dalton and BB and Snake have been kind of building up this friendship, and they've been kind of helping each other through this craziness because Dalton is essentially being held hostage by Wiseman as well. And so they help each other, and BB kind of ends up getting the president involved and gets Wiseman locked up. And after Snake beats Venus, before he kills her, he's like, I'm not going to kill you. And the entire facility is on a self-destruct sequence, and they escape. And
No.
Oh, go ahead.
This is important because I need to just talk about how ridiculous this is. Venus escapes.
Yeah.
Snake is trapped in the building. And then the scene is outside the building, and Metal Gear Kayeth HaKadesh returns to life. And the U.S. military has been called in to essentially secure the building, fires on Metal Gear as a missile launches into the ocean a short distance away, and it is revealed in a cutscene that Snake was hiding inside of the launcher instead of a missile and broke most of the bones in his body, and because he's a clone, I guess, recovered it very quickly. And that's insane. Yeah. That is fucking insane. Yeah. That is Snake Tales insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's Matt Campbell insane. Come on.
Yeah, it gets real crazy. And Sam, can you round it off by telling us what happens in the final moments?
Essentially, Wiseman is arrested and charged for crimes against humanity. And Dalton essentially gives him his identity and $15 million for some reason. But I think, yeah. And, but like Venus becomes like a clerk at a supermarket and like is trying to like merge into everyday life.
Yeah, she tries to date Snake pretty frequently throughout the game as well.
Yeah. It's so fucking weird. Yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, no, Venus becomes a supermarket clerk.
Yep.
So that's something.
Yeah. So it ends on a very like odd. It's like a weird combination of like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Metal Gear, and like Chobits.
Fucking Chobits. Yeah. I forgot Chobits was a thing.
Yep. So
God, I need to Google Chobits like right now.
Oh geez. So before we start talking about waifus, that's but yeah, that's pretty much how Metal Gear Acid 2 wraps up. I feel like it wasn't really hyper open ended. In a sense, I mean, it was kind of like everybody gets out scot free except for the bad guys. And I don't know. I wonder what their plans were after this. Like, I wonder if they were ever planning to kind of revisit this, or if this was just kind of like, fuck it, just be done. But no, I mean, it's interesting. It's fun. There are a lot of different cards in this game. The card system is a little bit more intricate because there are cards that can like combo off of each other. But there's just a lot of tactical stuff in this game, and there's a fun multiplayer mode as well. So I don't know. I mean, if you own a PSP, much like we said about Acid, if you own a PSP, definitely seek out the UMD, or if you ever see it, pick up a copy. There's a fun thing that we actually did not talk about called the Solid Eye, and I wish that I had a copy that came with it.
That looks like it would give me a headache.
Yeah, definitely, but I think it's something that is kind of neat. So essentially, the game shipped with this like cardboard box, kind of like how people have like VR cardboard boxes for their phones, like what is it, Google Cardboard?
Google Cardboard, yeah.
Yeah, and it shipped with one of those, and it had like these lenses. There's like a left and a right eye, and you would set it up over your PSP, and you could hypothetically, I would not recommend it. You could play the whole game with the solid eye mode turned on, and it would make it 3D. Which is really cool. But the other thing that I think is neat is there are a bunch of cutscenes made for the Solid Eye from other Metal Gear games on the disc. So you can watch Metal Gear Solid 3 cutscenes and stuff like that before. I think this was before MGS3 came out, or it may have been kind of concurrent with when it came out. But you could watch cutscenes for the game before the game came out through this Solid Eye. And there's actually a really neat boss rush mode. And after you beat the game, essentially it's just kind of, it puts you in these different boss scenarios that you can fight with the cards. However, it's not just bosses from Metal Gear Acid 2, it's actually bosses from the whole series. So you can play really fun boss fights. Like you can fight Liquid Snake and all kinds of other shit within the Metal Gear Acid kind of framework. So it's really cool. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's one of the best PSP games I've ever played, and there's just so much to do that you'll play through. Like me, I played through the whole game, and I think I only have 30% of the cards. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff, and it's a ton of fun. It's a really cool game, and the music's fantastic. So yeah, that's Metal Gear Acid 2 in a nutshell. I don't really know if there's too much left to say about it. Sam, do you have any questions about it since you didn't play it?
No. I feel like my brief experience with it on YouTube and reading about it is enough for me.
Cool. Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's just insane. The story just
Yeah. Other than, so Metal Gear Acid 1 was pretty good about you being able to like play through the whole thing as it went. But I will say my one big complaint about Acid 2 is like, so I played it on easy just so I could kind of finish it for the show. But I will say when I got to the Metal Gear battle at the end of the game, it became pretty apparent pretty quickly that I had to go back and grind to get points to buy cards. Because a lot of the weapons, unless it's like anti-machine rocket weapons, just like don't do shit. And so I had to go back through and essentially kind of grind and hope and buy card packs. So I will say I don't think it doesn't flow. Like you can't just go mission to mission to mission without having to stop and kind of grind. I discovered, I think I saw online on a couple of Let's Plays just to kind of see how other people were doing it, that some people were able to kind of push through it just using things like AKs and M4s. It just takes way longer. Yeah. But that was my one big gripe, is it didn't feel paced for you to be able to just kind of play straight through. You kind of had to double back. But yeah, so good game. Check it out for sure. Let's jump into some listener responses since we don't have a side op between this and the next episode. So Sam, do you want to start us off by talking about some stuff on the Facebook?
Yeah, so we have a couple of posts on the page. We have a couple of messages that we want to talk to. And the first one that that I want to mention is from Nikki Ziggy Stardust, Nikki Z in the place to be. Booyakasha. He posted on the Facebook page, "Thanks for the plug, guys." And what he means by that is we talked about his new podcast that is on our network, Mad Bad Book Club, which you should check out. He says, "Anyway, I think you guys messed up." So already calling us out.
Damn.
Said there's actually a secret ending to Metal Gear Acid. If you collect every card in the game and make sure the last card used in the game is the Peter Still Black Man card, you will trigger the secret ending. It plays out the same as it would normally until Snake ends up laying on the beach. Suddenly footsteps are heard, and then who would it be to show up but Matt Campbell? And the only piece of accompanying voice dialogue in the game, Matt says, "Be careful, Snake. Des mines, dear." The Russian accent was weird, but otherwise that's it. That's the secret ending. The memes.
I love it.
So that
I
was
love it.
pretty fantastic. So we had that post on the Facebook page. We also had some messages. The first one's from Ben Garibaldi Smith. Thank you, Ben. He says, "Hey guys, great job with the podcast this week. Talking about our Acid episode." He said, "I didn't know it was possible to talk about that Metal Gear Acid for that long," which I didn't either. So we're batting 1,000. Anyway, I just wanted to chime in with my thoughts on what was talked about. Call it the British connection. So I totally agree with what Sam said at the start of the show. Nobody played Metal Gear Acid. I remember seeing the launch trailer and simply thinking, nope. I tried to find out just how many copies of Metal Gear Acid were sold, and I couldn't find anything online. However, I did get the unit sales of Metal Gear Acid 2. North America, there's percentages and decimals. North
wasn't
America,
a lot.
No, it wasn't. North America was like 0.10 million units. Europe was 0.01 million. Japan was 0.05 million. The rest of the world was 0.01 million. And global was 0.18 million. In comparison, Peace Walker, a full-blown Kojima effort for the PSP, sold just over 2 million units. So looking at how badly Metal Gear Acid appears to have sold, do you think the only reason these Metal Gear games were made is to help publicize and create some buzz around the launch of the PSP, hoping people will think it's an MGS2 game, but for the PSP? I think we kind of touched on that a little bit, and the answer to that, I think, is yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think to some extent, Acid 1 very much so was like Konami wanting to get a Metal Gear title on some new Sony hardware, and help with the kind of the launch. And I think Acid 2 probably came out... I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm assuming the Japanese market actually enjoyed Acid, which it sounds like from the numbers that they did.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that a sequel was kind of greenlit just because it was like, well, we've already built this whole system, so why not just add a little bit and put out another one? I'm sure it'd be cheaper to do that than make a whole new engine and everything from scratch. Mm-hmm. So I think... that's for sure. I will say it's interesting to me that Peace Walker sold 2 million units on the PSP because as far as timelines go, Peace Walker came out well after the PSP was kind of dead in America. And so it's interesting to me that it even sold that many units because...
But you have to think it's also an actual, like, straight-up Metal Gear game that's canon.
For sure. Yeah. But if anything, I think... everybody who I've ever encountered did not have a chance to play it on the PSP because a lot of them had already gotten rid of their PSPs before it came out, or they just didn't have one and they didn't want to buy one just for that. So a lot of people that I know didn't play Peace Walker until the HD collection.
Like, to this day, I still haven't played it.
Yeah.
Which, that's exciting time.
It's amazing. It's a really good game, but it's just weird to me that they waited so long to put it out, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I can pick up an email real quick.
Well, no, I'm not done with Ben's.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Ben also says you mentioned some of the team that worked on the game, and one of the names mentioned was Akihiro Honda, one of the composers. He did go on to greater Metal Gear things, writing and composing the song "Sins of the Father" from Phantom Pain. Anyway, great with the show. Keep up the good. Wow, that I just took 12 words and turned them into one. There. Anyway, great work with the show. Keep up the good work, Ben. P.S. Don't worry about offending the Welsh. We do it all the time here in England. So it's good to know we have permission to offend the Welsh. Say it with me. Whose coat is that jacket? Whose shoes are those trainers? Yeah.
Every time I hear any Welsh anything, I just immediately think of Mr. Drippy from Ni no Kuni.
Oi, man.
I love it.
Anyways, carry on with an email, sir.
Yeah, so this is an email from TJ. We were actually in a conversation about having TJ on the show, and he said, I just really want to speak directly to the man, the myth, the legend, doesn't have a twit. And Isaac, who had not said a single thing in this multi-email chain...
who is my favorite person on the fucking planet, by the way.
Yes, came out of nowhere... with the mystery of doesn't have a twit lies in the strength of those who believe. Legend has it that such a man does not actually exist. only in the signs and breaths effervescing up into and out of our memories. Doesn't have a twit is in all of us. We are its legacy. So I just wanted to give a little Isaac into this episode because that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, Isaac is just a fucking unicorn.
I love it.
Like Isaac Lim only comes along like once every generation,
Yes.
if that. So we need to treasure him while he's here.
Exactly. We don't want another Bowie situation.
No, God, no.
But sweet.
Just think about this: however many billion years of life, and you managed to exist at the same time as Isaac Lim. How lucky are you?
I'm happy to see Isaac influencing more than just the people in his near vicinity, because I had the privilege of growing up spoiled because I grew up alongside Isaac, but I'm happy to share the Isaac with the rest of the world.
Yeah, the first time I actually shared words with Isaac was this podcast, and now I just am thankful every day that I could call myself his, dare I say, friend?
I don't know. He hasn't said that yet.
He hasn't. I don't want to overstep my boundaries with Isaac, with the legend of doesn't have a twit.
Be careful.
We're friends on Facebook, so that's something.
Dude, that is something, because I think he checks his Facebook like once a month.
Yeah, so... And he accepted it a day after I requested him, so I don't know.
Very nice.
We'll see.
Do we have another Facebook?
Yeah, Nick Reed. He
Other
writes
Nick.
in, other Nick Reed. As he says, as an Australian, I can confirm what you said about Fanny and rooted.
Yes.
So if you want to get deeply rooted, you can check out my Fanny.
All right. Thank you for that invitation.
You're welcome. Fuck, man. Also, I'm glad the expert stoner shy guy thing is catching on.
Yes.
He said, also, after finishing Metal Gear Solid 1 for... my voice is doing things right now. After finishing Metal Gear Solid 1 for the first time a few weeks ago, I loved it. All of the problems you guys had with it were a bit harsh, I reckon. The only thing I hated were some points in the game where you basically can't progress unless you have rations, aka the stairs and the Rex battle. The backtracking didn't worry me. It made me understand the map better. I think it's my favorite MGS after 2 so far. The gameplay isn't riveting in 1, but the pacing and story and atmosphere and music were all great. It was definitely a lot harder than MGS 2. Anyway, gotta go talk to you dudes soon. And our response, Alessio said something to the effect of, he said, I know on my end it seemed a little bit harsh because he's replayed it 20 times and his patience was a little thin, but it's a masterpiece. And my response was also Cameron. Which, for all you OG listeners, remember Cameron.
Yep. Cameron, he injected his brand of hate.
Hold on. Nick Reed is typing a message as we speak.
Oh, my God.
So if you want to, just kind of talk about something else for a second.
I can read another email real quick.
Yeah, I will report back.
This is amazing. This is the first time we've ever had a live response on the air.
I like the dot where the Nick is typing thing is popping up right now.
So Liquid Metal Mike sent us a wonderful other email, and I need to share another image from him. He says, my mom dug this out of her basement when I went to visit. I think I did this one when Trilogy came out. Figured you guys would enjoy. So it is actually a Mortal Kombat Trilogy fan picture. And from what I can tell, it looks like Goro is decapitating and mauling 3 different people. It looks like it could be either Sub-Zero or Scorpion. The fellow with the hat, I cannot remember his name.
Kung Lao?
Yeah, and then I don't know who the person in the top right is.
Hold on, I need to look at this picture again.
I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat guy, so... And then my response was, oh man, I need to dig up all of my Gorillas and Spider-Man fan art from whenever I was growing up. Good times, thanks Mike. And Mike said, you should. It would only benefit society to be saturated with fan art from the 90s.
Which is true. I need to find all my Power Rangers fan art from back in the day.
Yeah, we had a video way back when. If you guys go to the Geek Time YouTube,
Oh my god! Of all of Aaron's, like Aaron DePasquale's fan art from Dragon Ball Z.
it's amazing.
Oh my god!
It's like a unboxing video of Aaron's
you'll have
DBZ binder.
Link that video in the show notes because it's amazing. It's like all these like different drawings that he drew freehand and traced. There's like a Trunks that looks like a South Park character, and another Trunks with a hand that Alessio affectionately describes as his Kronk hand, which is my favorite thing ever. So definitely check that video out if you want to see some GTN original
artwork,
original fan art.
We're gonna sell prints in the shop.
Oh my god, we're gonna put that Kronk hand on a t-shirt.
Slap that Kronk hand on a t-shirt. I think that might be my favorite sentence.
We're gonna put that on a t-shirt too.
Yep.
We're gonna put the Kronk hand. It's gonna be slap that Kronk hand on a t-shirt. It's gonna be the Kronk hand.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Is your Kronk hand strong?
Yeah, dude, my Kronk hand is strong. Did Nick finish typing?
It's like it's doing that bubble where it's like Nick is typing.
You should type him real quick and say, "Hey, we're recording right now. Hurry up and finish your thought."
Hold on. Hey, I see you're typing. We are literally. I can't. Ever since I saw Parks and Rec, I can't say the word literally without saying it like that.
That's good.
I haven't said it the other way. I just say literally, and I don't think I can anymore.
Good. Just as long as you say culinary and not culinary, we'll be fine. Well, while Sam types to Nick, I'm going to just talk. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for the listener stuff. We enjoy reading you guys' things on the air. We will save any sort of iTunes review readings for later. We hope that you guys enjoyed the deleted scenes on the last episode because Sam and myself...
I was telling Alessio, we were driving down the road. So if you listen to it, there's this like really weird part where fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, right, where me and Isaac are messing with the Google Doc while Alessio is trying to like do something, or no, he's trying to read. I think he's trying to like read a message or something like that, and me and Isaac are just like making dicks and shit, and I forgot that we did that, and I'm driving on I-75, and I'm in the fast lane, and I am like, I need to pull over because my eyes are closed because I'm laughing so hard, and I was amazing. So if you didn't listen to the deleted scenes, you owe yourself. Nick finally responded. He said, responding to my also Cameron response, he said, yeah, it was definitely Cameron leading the criticism department, but yeah, I think it was just a bit obvious to all the annoying things the game throws at you. I really love this game, though. I love how it briefs you every time you continue the game. The bosses were all super interesting. And then he responds to my message that we're recording right now. He goes, whoa, that's super cool. So I'm like live on the air, kinda.
Yes.
And I'm like, totally, dude. I'm just going to read this.
All right. Well, if you want to chime in with anything towards the end, I do want to go ahead and shift us into our next section.
Yes.
So, guys, this is the last episode before Metal Gear Solid 3. And...
dude.
It's a big deal. The next episode that you listen to will officially be 6 months of Metal Gear Mondays.
Woo, 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 woo.
And on that sweet little half-year anniversary, we will have the first guest that we've ever had on the show. And that guest is like a dream guest for me. So this is Cole Ross from the Duck Feed Network.
Essentially, I'm going to be leading the show, and Alessio will not be speaking because he's going to be petrified.
Well, I will say it's going to be interesting, I think, from a listener perspective, and we'd love to hear if anybody picks up on any weirdness. But, like, with us having these guests on the show, I'm curious to see how the dynamic shifts and whether or not we continue to crack wise as much as we do. I know for me, I'm a little intimidated with Cole being on the show because they run a fun but tight ship over at Duckfeed, and so I'm probably going to be pretty self-conscious the entire time that we're either dawdling or saying super stupid shit. So it'll be interesting.
How tight is that ship, Alessio?
It's not super tight, but it's pretty damn tight.
It's like so tight.
It's real tight.
Just like accentuate the is it tight?
It's tight.
Is it hot?
It's not hot.
Is it wet?
Ew, stop.
Any word that ends with T, if you just like say it like that, you can make it sound disgusting.
Okay, that's good to know. But yeah, so we're going to be diving into Metal Gear Solid 3. And
moist?
The episode is essentially going to be us chatting with Cole about what got him into Metal Gear, and then us talking about some generalities, addressing some things with Metal Gear Solid 3, like when it came out, what systems it came out on, any re-releases that happened, how it plays, those kind of things. And then we are going to take the rest of the episode to talk about the Virtuous Mission, which is effectively the tanker portion of Metal Gear Solid 3, I guess. Mm-hmm. Kind of the intro. So we're going to talk about from the beginning of the game leading all the way up until the sort of title sequence for the game. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a good time. I'm excited. It's one of the biggest, I guess, most memorable games in the series for a lot of people. So hopefully we do right by you and we do it justice. I enjoyed the game tremendously. Although it may not be my absolute favorite Metal Gear Solid entry, I have a tremendous amount of affection for it, and I think it's one of the best in the series. So I'm super excited. Nice. One fun fact before we get into MGS3 that I did not realize until I was talking to Zach D., who we have been mentioning in some of the other episodes. I was speaking with Zach D. Trocchio, and we were going back and forth about the voice acting, because the voice acting is pretty phenomenal in MGS3. And I said, well, the voice of the boss is so iconic, and she does such a fantastic job that every time I hear her voice, it just feels right. You know what I mean? Like, her voice will come back up after MGS3, but whenever you hear her voice, it's almost like hearing, in a lot of ways, it's like hearing your mom or something. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like, it's like authority but still caring, and like a very sympathetic character. She's a fantastic character. Like I would say she's one of the best in the series. Yep. But we were talking about her voice actor, and Zach says, "Oh, you know what else she voiced, don't you?" And I was like, "No, she voices Mr. Krabs' daughter in
you didn't know that?
SpongeBob." I did not fucking know that.
That's fucking amazing.
And so now all I can hear is Pearl.
Yeah.
Oh my god, tall, dark, and handsome, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so shout out to Zach for making me aware of that, and know that I will not be able to unhear that.
And ruining your life forever.
Yeah, so I'm done now.
Yeah,
because I can hear it. Like now I can hear the cadence of the voice. It's just driving me nuts.
Really quick before we go, Nick Reed sent one more thing. And dude, anything else you send after this is going to be on the next episode, but I wanted to include this because you sent it. Metal Gear Solid 1, the bosses were all a really good challenge. I liked everything in 2, which is because it's much more it felt more forgiving. You pretty much never use rations in 2, but rations in the first one seem much more valuable, and he likes how the life gauge increases over time. It was brutal in the beginning with a 1-inch life gauge.
Yeah, dude, but it's not unlike Zelda in that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
But sweet. So that is our show for the week. We hope you guys enjoy it. As always, you can find us at geekti.me, or you can find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, or Twitter at GeekTimePod, and on Patreon at GeekTimePod. We've already plugged the fuck out of that, so I'll leave that be. The other thing that I would strongly suggest is, especially for Patreon backers who to get the most out of your most bang for your buck, definitely check out the other shows on the network. We do a lot of different shows, and they're all very, very good. And so I think to just listen to Metal Gear Mondays, you would be doing yourself a disservice. And so you should check out the other shows on the network while you wait between each of the Metal Gear Monday episodes.
We have we have a show a day, 7 days a week,
Yep.
which is insane.
And we know that your time is valuable, so I'm not asking you to listen to all of those,
Yeah.
but at least find one other show on the network and check it out. If you had to suggest another show on the network, Sam, what would it be? For me, I think the Geek Time podcast is fun, but for me, I think that I would suggest... I like smaller shows in between the longer ones. So I would say either This Week in Geek with Aaron, which is great, or I would say May We Have a Word for sure.
I will always say Maybe Have a Word because I'm very proud of Maybe Have a Word. I wasn't entirely sure what was going to happen with it, but the way that it's kind of shaken out and how I've been able to do it has been extremely fun, rewarding, and almost therapeutic a little bit. It's become a passion project for me to do. And essentially what it is I sit down with a guest, and the subject of the episode is a specific word, and we essentially go back and forth about that word and stories about that word. The next one you're going to hear is on Wednesday. I actually do it with Aaron. The word is going to be year, and it gets a little personal for him and for me, dropping some bombshells about life on that episode. So check that out if you want to learn some stuff about me that maybe you didn't know.
Yep. And yeah, I think that about covers it. One more super quick plug for the movie. Definitely check out braceforimpactmovie.com. I've never done a feature film. I've worked on several features, but this is the first one that I've directed and produced. So it's a huge deal, big undertaking, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would check it out. And you can find me on Twitter at AC Summerfield. Sam, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SamWrightDPS. Check all of that stuff out there. Also, did you mention the SoundCloud?
Yeah, I mentioned it in passing, but feel free to plug it again if you'd like.
Yeah, go to soundcloud.com/geektimepod. We upload all of our shows there. I'm currently entering my credit card information into there so that we can continue to have our unlimited uploads because Alessio went in and accidentally canceled our pro account. So I'm doing that right now. So check that out.
Yeah, and an easy way to find that as well, even if you don't go to SoundCloud, if you go to geekti.me, our website, all of the audio files that are embedded in the posts are actually directly linked to that SoundCloud.
Yep.
And we will, I'll definitely get better about it. We will check the SoundCloud for comments because SoundCloud has this very cool thing, if you've not used it before, where you can actually comment on an exact moment on the recording.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it'll save your comment with the timestamp for that section. So yeah, other than that, guys, that's been the show. Sam, what can they remember to do?
They can remember other words that end with T that sound gross, like moist.
Ugh.
So moist.
Ew. What was up with your voice there?
I work with a person who is a very flamboyant gay man, and he's awesome. But he says it like he says it like that sometimes. He says the word moist is an insult. He'll like describe people as like, yeah, they seemed very moist.
Ew.
Yeah, but like he'll just like randomly like go, so moist. And he'll just like make his voice rise, so moist. Just in case he wanted to like be incredibly uncomfortable. Like, there you go.
Nice.
But yeah. So if you want to be so moist, just remember that it's just a box.
I think that was the most vanilla sign off we've ever had.
You want to try again?
No, it was great.
No, fuck it. No, we're trying again.
No.
Fuck. No, you want vanilla. You want vanilla. You're getting strawberry, bitch. Sometimes in life, you just have to just suck it up and muddle through. Be the best that you can be,
You got a beers up, gears up,
Gears Up, 10 Cup, Teams Up, Suckers Walk. My name's Deke. My name's Deke Stokes. My friends call me the Spence. I'm here to destroy at Pong. Also, just live your life in a positive way and be good to each other. And when all else fails, just don't forget to just pour a little whiskey on it. God damn it.
Sam's trying to slowly say every reference from every show.
I want to put that on a t-shirt. Pour a little whiskey on it, goddammit. But I don't want to put like the word goddammit on a t-shirt because people frown upon that, I think, in America.
Maybe. Well, and if you order our t-shirts, they will come to you in a box.
No, they actually don't. They come to you in an envelope.
Fuck.
I know. I see what you were trying to do, but I just want to make sure facts are being spoken. They come into like one of those like vinyl envelopes that they send every t-shirt in. I've never seen a t-shirt come in a box before.
I'm sorry. I had a Ben Carson moment.
Your whole life is a Ben Carson moment. It's just a box.
Just a box.